Good evening. It's your least favorite person, Carrie V. Dean, coming at you again for a Dullard Speaks. Well, my subjects tonight is my disdain for how Trump and J.D. Vance tried to muscle man Zelensky. It was something to behold. And yes, that is music you're hearing. That is Willie Bobo in fried neck bones and some home fries. Yes, sir. Because that's what we got. um, the, the two of them look like two yipping yapping chihuahuas nipping at the heels of a Rockweiler. As Zelensky sat there in disbelief that these guys were shouting and yelling at him and calling him a warmonger, and he needs to stop worrying and those poor people in Russia and how many lives they have lost. And he shouldn't have never started it up with Putin. And unfortunately, it was Putin who started it up with Zelensky. But so many folks have forgotten that because Trump has thrown so much other fake bullshit their way, they can't smell the difference. Right now, most of Trump supporters are like the the dog chasing the squirrel, and you throw a ball, and he doesn't know whether to go after the squirrel or the ball. Well, that pretty much describes what's going on with the Republican Party and MAGA right now. Um, in the lazy ass Democrats that didn't vote, everybody's all up in arms about our government, but nobody's taking part and speaking out and trying to flip the people in the government. Because right now, the old dirtbags that are hanging on to seats need to go. But people keep voting along party lines. What, you can't think beyond party lines? What is the problem? Has America become that lazy? I hate to say it, but yes, they have. Americans have become quite lazy. We don't even bother to research what it is we're voting against or what we're voting for anymore. We just go by whatever we hear. The dog chasing chasing the ball. Here, fetch. Chasing the stick. Here, fetch. Oh, wait. You threw a piece of steak? Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to fetch that. Come on. Wake up, people. What the man did to Zelensky was horrible. He and JD Vance sat there screaming at Zelensky like two teenage boys trying to show whose balls were bigger. As the man sat there and just shook his head and wanted to cry for both of them because they have no clue how to be diplomats. Oh yeah, we're talking tough. We're talking tough. No, you sound like a bunch of high school bullies that cornered the little geek and is now gonna force the little geek to do all your homework for you. That was just horrible. Um, and all you folks talking about Christian values, well, he definitely showed there's no Christian value in him. Um, Would he be backing Israel if Putin was to turn his eye and decided that he was going to attack Israel? Hmm, that's the question you should be asking yourselves right about now. Because in his eyes, Putin can do no wrong. So, when the rest of Europe finally get their crap together and band and go with Zelensky up against Putin, and Putin loses even more people, as Trump's crying about, I have no empathy for Putin. He did it to himself. You don't invade another man's country and think he's just gonna roll over and lay down and play dead for you. It's not happening. Oh, Russia strong, Russia strong, Russia. No, Russia's not that strong. A little country like the Ukraine, come on. That's not being strong. That is just being a bully. Uh, the only thing that hasn't fully exposed Trump is the fact that we're still not being forced to speak Russian yet. But wait, that's coming. That will be the next. That'll be the next thing coming. Oh, we're gonna force everybody to speak English in America. Oh, but only we won't tell them that us rich folks are starting to learn Russian. So when Putin comes and takes over, we'll already know the language. Yeah, that's what's going to start happening. See, the rich folks keep trying to extend their margin from the poor. So now what they're doing is they're playing with our taxpayer dollars and pretending like they're it's for the best for the American people when actually they can't explain what they're doing with those tax dollars. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, they did. They're going to give vouchers to the rich people to knock $10,000 off of them sending their kids to private schools. And oh yeah, since they're doing away with the Board of Education, or they're trying to do the best they can to do away with the Board of Education, um, all those funds will be going back into the private schools. Um, so all the rest of you people that have public school services and stuff off the feds, no more. We're not gonna fund for schools for you no more. Federal dollars should not be paying to people homeschooling. Wow. So we're gonna cut out all those jobs, all those millions of people that are working as teachers and stuff right now. We're gonna cut out all their jobs. We don't need them. They're not teaching anything anyway. We only want teachers that are gonna teach what we want the kids to know. And in private schools, we have all the power to do that. We can dictate how we want our kids to learn. So, you public school people that are still teaching history and all this other good stuff, guess what? We don't need it because we're idiots. We keep trying to rewrite that the white man colonized America, but we don't want to tell you how. We don't want to be that transparent. We don't want to tell you how the white man colonized America because then we'd have to talk about the atrocities that we caused, like killing off most of the indigenous people that were already here. Oh, no, we don't want to get into any of that stuff. That's why we blame Zelensky for the war in the Ukraine, because he could have stopped it by laying down and playing doormat for Putin, and he wouldn't do it. Oh, but I don't tell you like that. No, no, of course I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna lie. Twice underneath his first term, Putin attacked. Yes, attacked the Ukraine with no immediate response from the Ukraine other than to say, hey, world, look what this guy's doing. Isn't he in violation of the protocols put in place by the UN that he wasn't to do this? But look what he's doing. Oh, Trump brushed it off. Oh, he's just being a crybaby. Oh, he's just being a crybaby. Who's being a crybaby? Boy, you're really pushing for that World War III because you know you need it, Trump. So stop lying to the American people talking about who the warmongers are. You're the biggest warmonger there is. Okay? And the reason why you do it is so that people aren't watching what you're doing with your left hand while you're tickling us with the right hand. Okay? Let's stop with the crazy, man. That's all I can say to you. Stop with the crazy. You two look like two teenage bullies trying to show off whose balls were bigger and screaming at Zelensky. Zelensky's just sitting there looking like the proud man that he is and shaking his head at the two of you. He literally looked like he wanted to cry for the both of you. And he probably did a little bit inside. He couldn't believe he was dealing with two grown ass men talking like locker room jocks, beating up on the little scrawny kid that they're going to force to do their homework. You guys just don't realize how bad, or you don't care because you feel like Putin's in your pocket. Guess what? You're in Putin's pocket. Okay? Trump's already gotten money from Putin. That'll never be talked about, but he's already gotten his hush money from Putin. That's why Putin can do no wrong. Okay? Nobody's gonna talk about that. What has Trump been pushing this whole time? Even across this election? Oh, poor Putin. Oh, he just tried to invade Kiev. Oh, guess what? They threw a rocket in his eye. Oh, he lost over 18,000 soldiers. Oh. Well, guess what? He wouldn't have lost those 18,000 soldiers if he wasn't in their territory. Butthead. I don't feel sorry for Putin. Hell no. Somebody should have busted a cap in that man's dome years ago. He's been nothing but a barnacle in the butt of all humans anywhere in the world. Just like any dictator or aristocrat. Okay. All you autocrats you want to call yourselves. You can call yourselves whatever you want. Dictators, kings. You're all full of crap, basically. The reason why America was formed again was after we fought the British. We were trying to break away from having a king or queen situation. We couldn't entirely break away from it, so we created a faux government. That's right, you fake governing people in the government. The only fake news is fake news coming from the government right now. There are so many fake stories. Which one do you have to really focus on? Well, none of them. Don't focus on any of them because the main objective here is to get us into World War III, something they were trying to push Obama to do. And when he wouldn't do it, they blamed him for all the desert, you know, not Desert Storm or whatever they wanted to call it. They blamed him for all that shit. Okay, um, Bush wouldn't do it. That's how Obama won because they saw they couldn't push um, traditional Republican man to do it. So let's get a young, wild, bucking Democrat. Oh yeah, that black man's perfect for the part. Oh, guess what happened? Oh, he wouldn't do it either. He wouldn't push that limit to go into World War III. So Trump comes in, and what he did is he pussyfooted around it. Oh, yeah, let's take baby steps. Let's go back and take baby steps. I'll just whet their appetites with the possibility of the Democrats pushing us into World War III and let their minds run with it. And then I'll come in and absolutely announce we're going into World War III. And guess what? It's happening right now. While he has you chasing around transgenders and cutting out the educational boards and um, cutting possible cuts, deeper cuts she's going to do into Medicaid and Medicare and all that stuff. As a matter of fact, talking about getting rid of the whole departments of Medicaid and Medicare. Tells you what he thinks of the American people. Uh, let's see, these were all wasteful programs that he's getting rid of, right? Oh, in that sick ass story he told about the traffic controllers having control over whether or not the planes stay up in the air when it comes to maintenance. No, see, those are two different parts to the airlines. Air traffic controllers only direct the traffic in the air. What did you do? You start gutting them. Second, you start gutting them. How many plane crashes have we had now? Oh, and because it was because of those DEI hires, though. It was because of the DEI hires. I'm sorry. In less than a month, we've had four plane crashes that we've absolutely heard of, and possibly more that were just little near miss accidents that we're not hearing about because you decided that all the air traffic controllers were DEI hires. Well, if they're all DEI hires, guess what? White men need to step up, learn more in school, and stop slacking off with their privilege. That's right. You white guys have been slacking off with your privilege and you keep talking about reverse. There's no reverse racism going on. What you're feeling is the backlash of you feeling so self entitled and privileged that you can just cakewalk into any job and do it, even without education. Half of you guys sitting up in Congress, your rich mommy and daddies didn't even pay for your education. People like me working two jobs and putting myself through school paid off your student loans. Then you turn around and you sick Sally Mae on us and said, "Oh no, those of us that weren't white skinned." You turned around and sick Sally Mae on us and said, "Oh look, they're all deadbeats. They're not paying off their loans fast enough." Oh yeah. Then you turn around when you couldn't get away with that anymore. You said, okay, well, we're going to do away with Sally Mae, but only for a certain amount of people. We're going to wipe out the loan and the debt that was underneath Sally Mae. Um, all the rest of you still got to pay off those loans or debts. And it's like, wait a minute, but we've already paid off our loan or debt. Sally Mae's already sent us the official letters saying that we've been paid off. Then you come back with, oh, those were fake letters. Those weren't real. Oh, no, you still owe the debt. You know what? I don't care whether the president was Democratic or Republican. This went on for 3 decades of that crap. 3 decades of that crap. Of those of us that got stuffed into the bad credit situation and everything because Sally Mae said that we never paid off our student loans when we had. That never got reversed. Never. Never did. When Sally Mae became Navient, I was still getting letters saying that I owed Navient. Never had a loan through Navient. Never took a loan through Navient. I was done with my schoolwork by the time Sally Mae became Navient. But guess what? All those loans that Sally Mae hadn't marked off as being paid off all got sucked in under Navient. And what the government didn't tell anyone was when Navient come calling and talking about the Sally Mae debt and did you owe this or did you owe that? Tell them I got the letter, I got paid off. They came back with send us their original letter. Who keeps the letter for that long? My debt was paid off long before Sally Mae became Navient. So it's kind of funny how all these things come into line. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. This, that, and the other. Well, there's going to be some collateral damage. No, we don't get to hide behind that anymore. This wasn't collateral damage. This was done on purpose. You wanted to damage a lot of people's credibilities and everything else, so you wouldn't have to deal with us later in life. Should we have possibly struck it rich somehow? Um, this is nothing new. This is what bullies do. They state a fact, add their lie, and call it the truth. People forget 85 to 90% of a lie is factual truth. So I'm not saying Biden's not to blame about the border situation. I'm not trying to say he was to blame. I'm just saying neither he nor Trump did anything about the border. So Trump pointing his finger at Biden is like the skillet calling the pot black. Okay? Yeah, you know, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make sense. None whatsoever. So, we have a situation here. This last election, I didn't care who won actually, because whether it's Trump lying to us now, it would have been Kamala Harris lying to us. The only difference is our economy would still be in good shape and probably getting stronger if Kamala Harris had got in. Whereas dumbass on first day got in office, and the first thing he did is the same thing he did when he got in office after he won the election um, in 2016. 2017, day one, he got sworn into office. That's what he was doing, signing all those executive orders, trying to undo everything Obama had done. He must have reversed close to, I think they said 87 or 96 ratifications that Obama had done to policies that were written, just so he could say he made new policies. He made no policies. Had he made any policies, we wouldn't have went through that COVID nightmare as badly as we did. Had he made any policies, the border would not have been being flooded with immigrants waiting and coming into the country illegally. Had he made any policies, inflation wouldn't have been as bad as it was when Biden came into office. So let's stop trying to say who was worse than the other one on that issue, okay? Because in my mind, when people are trying to argue in favor of Trump on that issue, you lose because he did nothing at all. Biden came in and makes a few policy changes and had to do a couple of executive orders himself to amend and reinstitute policies that Trump had cut out that was making the economy stable. Where Biden fell down is he did not do that on the border situation. He definitely should have stepped in and said he didn't give a crap and made an executive order on the original agreement that was bipartisan that should have passed in the House, but didn't because Trump put pressure on all the current Republicans in the House that he'd be looking for retribution if he won in 2024. That's all he needed to do to scare all of their little buttholes shut so that they did his bidding. And they did. If people don't know how bullying works, that's how bullying works. Bullying works when someone else know they absolutely can control the fate of your future. People go along because they're afraid to speak up. I'm not afraid to speak up. What more can you do to me? I'm already at the lowest point in the bottom of the rung. The only thing you can do to me is kill me. And to me, that would be a mercy killing. Because then I wouldn't have to witness any of this crap anymore. Other folks may not think so, but one thing I know about a bully knows nothing of mercy. So you want to scare a bully into not killing you? Just tell them, yes, be merciful, kill me. Watch how fast they don't want to do it. Oh, no, I can't kill you because I'm a weak ass coward and all I want to do is just keep bullying you. But you're not going to let me bully you. Uh, uh, uh. Now I'm stuck. I just won't mess with you anymore. I just ignore you. I'll just put you in a corner over here and ignore you. Because that's what bullies do. Unite the country? Hell no. He had no interest in uniting the country because then he can't get to World War III. You unite the country, more people start looking at you still haven't come up with a policy. You've given a lot of executive orders. Um, you've implemented a lot of the core values mentioned in 2025, which wasn't a plan, it was an actual to do list of what to do, which they're executing quite easily, breezily, because folks are still stuck on some black man got my job. Excuse me, did the black man get your job, or did you just not do the work to get the job? You thought the job should just be handed to you because you're a white man and he's a black man. You don't think companies look at qualifications and who can help their company go the longevity route rather than to get rich quick and get out? The half of white of America don't understand finances. They think they do, but they don't truly understand finances. Hell, most black families, even the richest black families, know how to stretch a damn dollar to make things work. Put a white man that's rich and suddenly make him poor. Crime goes up by far. Crime goes up completely off the charts. But oh no, we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. It's all you poor people that's causing all the crime. Hell, I've seen more rich white boys go in their own neighborhoods and rip people off than I have seen in black neighborhoods. The bad thing about black neighborhoods is they've learned to be just as cold and autocratic to their own people like the rest of you knuckleheads out there. You know what they always say. You always hurt the ones you love the most. So for all you black folks that went MAGNA and voted Trump, Fafo, smile. On that note, have a good night.